What's going on, Colts Nation? I appreciate you joining me. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about some of the free agent pool. There's a lot happened over the last couple of days as teams begin to prepare for the beginning of free agency. They're going to have people taking visits, right? The Bills have a scheduled visit with a defensive tackle. There's already been a player, I believe it was Jonnu Smith, that had a meeting with the Dolphins and is trying to work out a contract there or something like that. So there are players already meeting with teams, already talking to teams. And when free agency started, there was a lot of things happen. A lot with the Bills. The Bills were the team that was really in the news throughout the day on Wednesday when they cut Jordan Poyer. They cut Mitch Morse, their starting center. They also let go of Tre'Davious White and some other people. There was a kick returner, a wide receiver kick returner that was also released. Like the Bills went pretty hard on releasing everybody. But there's also been other news, right? Quandre Diggs and Jamal Adams both got released. You also have what just happened on Thursday when Justin Simmons gets released by the Broncos. That is a massive move for the offseason. So, the way things are, the way the safety market is right now, I just want to look at some of the safeties and talk about who the Colts might go after to join the team this offseason. Okay, and when you look at the list of guys that the Colts have a chance to go after, you have Justin Simmons, you have Eddie Jackson, Quandre Diggs, Kevin Byard, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, Jordan Poyer, Jordan Whitehead, Chuck Clark is out there. Darnell Savage looking to get his first deal since his rookie contract. So, Xavier McKinney, another guy that's out there. Deshaun Elliott, Rodney McLeod is back on the market. Jeremy Chin is available. And of course, Julian Blackman also on the market. So, with all the names up here, right, one of the guys that I really think the Colts should think about going after is Justin Simmons. When you look at Justin Simmons, first of all, since 2016, he leads all defensive backs in the NFL in interceptions with 30. So not only is he a ball hawk, but he's also around the ball all the time. You look at his numbers for safety, especially a free safety, going year by year. His second year in the league, 2017 is when he really started to get tackles. He had 69 tackles. 2018 had the most tackles of any season in his career when he had 97. Then the next 2 years, he had 93 and 96. And during those years when he was getting a bunch of tackles, those were also the years where he had some of the most interceptions in his career. And 2023 was actually the first season of his career where he took a step back in the interception department, right? His first couple years in the league, he had 2 interceptions each of those years. And then he had 3 interceptions in 2018, 4 interceptions 2019, in 2020, 2021, he had 5 interceptions. 2022, he had 6 interceptions. And in 2023, he has 3 interceptions. So this is a guy that's around the ball a lot, still getting a lot of tackles. 2021, 80 tackles. 2022, 69. 2023, 70. And the fact of the matter with Justin Simmons is that even like because of his age and the fact that the Broncos just haven't had any real success, even with as good as he's been, that the number for him probably going to be a little lower than top tier guys, right? So when you're looking at Justin Simmons, I think you could get Justin Simmons for a decent price. A team that has a rookie quarterback, kind of in a position to win now, just need to add some pieces, solidify certain things. Maybe Justin Simmons would be interested in coming to the Colts. Now, Justin Simmons is going to have a big market. He's a very good football player, has been since he stepped in the league. So it'll be interesting to see what he decides to do, but I would be surprised if the Colts aren't at least trying to go after Justin Simmons through this offseason. Okay, now somebody else that I think the Colts could go after is going to be Quandre Diggs, who's played with both the Lions and the Seahawks. And in the same span of time that Justin Simmons got 30 interceptions, Quandre Diggs has 24. So he's not far behind. Another guy who goes after the ball, is able to make plays on the ball, somebody who gets a lot of tackles. He's around the ball a lot, especially you look with the Seahawks, some of his best tackling numbers. 2021, he had 94. 2023, he had 95. So as he gets older, And it's probably just, part of the role that he had to play there in Seattle, but he's able to do more, right? A more instinctual player, able to be around the ball more. And of course, like I mentioned, being a ball hawk. And it's really kind of the same situation with Quandre Diggs as it is for Justin Simmons. This is a guy that's 31 years old, and whether he was with the Lions or the Seahawks, no real success there. So the number shouldn't be crazy, right? You can get a veteran player for the secondary, especially the safeties, get a veteran player in there to help these guys out, come in and be competition or be the starter and let guys like Rodney Thomas and Nick Cross learn from him, because the other side of this is still bringing back Julian Blackman. I'll be honest, like if we went out, I think for me, the ideal situation would be, let's go ahead, pay Justin Simmons to come in for 2 years, and let's let Nick Cross start at strong safety. But there's a contingency. I was on Twitter right before I was recording this, people thinking that, Julian Blackman should be paired with Justin Simmons. I'm just sitting here wondering, just how much is that going to cost? That's quite a bit. You can restructure some guys to try to make it work, and we'll see if the Colts decide to do that. They don't typically do that in years past, restructure guys to open up a bunch of cap. It'd probably be a good idea with the position that we're in if we restructure some things, get some guys some more guaranteed money up front. But assuming the Colts do what they normally do and just kind of ride out with what they have, then bringing back Julian Blackman, like it's either one or the other, Julian Blackman or Justin Simmons, or Julian Blackman or Quandre Diggs. I don't think you bring in two safeties and pay two safeties. And that also could be my opinion, because I just want to see Nick Cross get on the field and finally get some reps. I think he's a really good football player. I think he needs to be playing. I think that's very apparent toward the end of last season. Nick Cross needs to be on the field. He's far too good to continue sitting on the sideline. He needs to be playing in the defense. So for me, I would rather Nick Cross play one of the, either it's Julian Blackman and Nick Cross, or it's Nick Cross and Justin Simmons, or Nick Cross, Quandre Diggs, one of those guys. And I mean, there are other options too. Again, as you go through this list, like we're talking mostly about Justin Simmons and Quandre Diggs, because those are the guys, when I really look at it, that I think we should go after. But when you look at it in totality, like, would I be upset if we got Eddie Jackson? No. Do I think he's as good as he was earlier in his career? No, but he's a good veteran player that can bring some competition to that room and some good knowledge to that room. As somebody who's a fan of the Pat McAfee show, somebody who kind of likes the Bills, Jordan Poyer is a name that interests me. I think he's a really good player. I think he's really instinctual around the ball a lot. He had 100 tackles this past season. So Jordan Poyer is another guy that I would not be mad at all if we ended up getting. Right, and those are just the free safeties. You look at the strong safeties. Again, you have Kevin Byard on the list, who was really good with Tennessee. Obviously, didn't really work out with Philadelphia, but Kevin Byard is coming off a year where, as a safety, he just had 122 tackles, like all over the place, able to be around the ball. Kevin Byard's still really good, in my opinion. Unfortunately for Micah Hyde, he's not only getting older, but just continues to have injuries. So that's an interesting name, but he's not a young man anymore. But then a couple other guys that we kind of mentioned before, right? Xavier McKinney, Deshaun Elliott, a couple guys that are interesting. But Julian Blackman's on this list, 25 and a half years old right now, not even 26. I just think if you're going to bring back a free safety, or I'm sorry, if you're going to bring in a strong safety, just go ahead and bring in Julian Blackman. Like, bring your own guy back. But if you're going to go free safety, that's when you go and get a guy like a Justin Simmons or Quandre Diggs. These are guys that I'm into, guys that I think we might be able to target, and guys that I think could bring very valuable experience to a very young secondary. So I'd love to know what your guys' opinion is on this whole situation. You let me know down in the comment section. Should we pay Julian Blackman and another safety? Should Nick Cross be one of the starting safeties one way or another? And who do you think the Colts should target? With as rich of a safety market as this is, there are a lot of options. Who do you think the Colts should bring in? A strong safety? Who do you think we should bring in at free safety? You let me know down in the comment section. Of course, don't forget to hit that like button and be subscribed with notifications on, so you get notified as we have daily content on this channel throughout the off season. And of course, I appreciate you stopping by for another video. And as always, take care of yourself, take care of each other, and go Colts.